Daniel Augustus Latte Jr. also gaining 546. Then, of course, the late Ekuadonko, there's nothing there for her. And Christian Kobina Andrews also had 626, then followed by Kofi Akpalu, who also had 135. Mohamed Frimpong also pulled 120. Then Nane Equia Frimpoma had 942. John Dramani Mahama, of course, had 202,689. Then Hassan Ayariga also had 579. Then it goes on to Kofi Kransen, who had 93. Then George Chum also had 92. Nana Kwame Bediako had 1,723. Then Alan Tramantin had 441. And then, so the total votes cast, the total valid votes were 332,011 here. And also the rejected ballots are it's a bit faint here, but before then I have the director of elections of the NPP here. He wants to move out, but I just will ask him a few questions before he moves. Thanks for joining me, Mr. Evans Dimako.
My pleasure.
So far, what would you say? What are your impressions about the handling of the results by the EC so far?
I think so far, in terms of results coming from the regions, it appears a bit delayed. I mean, you know how results must move from polling station to constituency collation centers, then to regional collation centers, and then finally to the national collation center. Because of few pockets of disturbances, we've not been able to receive the results here, and we urge stakeholders to let the procedure flow so that we can have all results in for the EC to.
Okay, one will say that now your presidential candidate has conceded to defeat, and so what are you doing here?
Well, he is a man of his word. When he was signing the part, he told people of Ghana that he wants Ghana to emerge out of this exercise as a united Ghana and a victor, and said that all states must ensure there's peace. I mean, he mentioned political parties, the media, the security agents, as well as the voters. And by his word, even ahead of EC's final declaration, has indicated that in order that there will be peace, he has on own, having done power vote tabulation, accepted that the numbers he has gotten appears less than what Mr. Mahama has gotten. In view of that, has extended congratulatory message to Mr. Mahama. That tells you that this is a man who believes in the full picture of what you call democracy. And it has also really deepened our multi-party democracy and put Ghana's name up there again. If you watch across the world, even in some advanced democracies, they have difficulty going through what we are going through now. So I will only say that yes, his message should communicate a lot to the good people of Ghana, that there must be peace before, during, and after these elections.
So, Mr. Evans Dimako, what's culminated into the concession by your flag bearer?
So we will have peace in Ghana. So people will calm down and know that he, who is the number one beneficiary of the outcome of the results, say enough is enough. What else will motivate you to do anything untoward? And we've heard of some pockets of disturbances, and all those people, they must, to a large extent, comply with the law. They should not give the security agencies the benefit to act in a way that will not help them. We need Ghana peaceful.
Okay, so what margin did you lose with, according to your own figures?
We are still collating. You know that in some places they've not been able to send their polling station result sheet to the collation center. So as we speak, I am not able to give you definite numbers. We'll have to exercise a little bit of constraint so that when the party has put together its figures, we will churn it out.
So if you're not done, then would you say that the concession was premature?
I won't say that, because when you have done, if you know electoral history, when you have done some sizable numbers, you're looking at results from 40,648 plus the 328 special voting centers. When you have put all of them together, or you put sizable numbers together, you can do the appropriate deductions. This is where we are. And so what they did is rather to bring peace to Ghana and not to cause any procedural challenge.
Mr. Evans Nimako, parliamentary-wise, the party, the NPP, has lost some big wins. As the director of election and research of the NPP, what do you think didn't work for you?
Well, this is the decision of the good people of Ghana. We will take our time, go through this exercise. When we are done, we will look at all the issues at a review stage, and then we will move on. It is too early to review when the whole exercise is not complete.
I know that the flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, addressed the media before 10 a.m. this morning. As of that time, what was the margin that led to him conceding to defeat?
You know, we have a team. We have a team at the national, regional, and constituency, and we are still collating. I have been here since morning. When he was addressing the media, speaking to Ghana, I didn't have the benefit of being there at the time because I was at National Coalition Center. Let me relate to our coalition centers across, and at the appropriate time, we will put out those numbers. Thank you very much.
Did the NPP lose its formula?
Well, we didn't get the numbers enough to constitute government, so you may be entitled to that opinion. But then let's look at what is ahead of us.
Your last words before you go.
There must be peace in Ghana. The New Patriotic Party is ready to accept the outcome. But all those who are creating problems must know that at the end of the day, it's only one Ghana we have. We must have peace. So as a family we can live, our parents can live, our children can go to school and get back home safely without challenges. Yes, it's elections. One candidate will win, one party will win. So please, it doesn't mean that when you have won, you should create problems for others.
Mr. Evans Nimako, yes, I know I said your last words, but this question just came in. Earlier, the NPP said that you were going to collate results and declare Bawumia by midnight of day. What went wrong of the time leading to this margin defeat? I have tried to get you to answer to this, so let me try this time.
Well, I don't think you have any record that the NPP was going to declare Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia the president of Ghana. New Patriotic Party will never make such a statement. What we have done over the years is that we have always collated our results from polling stations and put them together accordingly. But for some disturbances in Techiman South, in our wing, okay, even in Dokabenya, would have done that long ago, but we also respect that the final declaration must come from the EC. So we are respect the law. Give us that benefits of the doubt.
So how does President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo feel about the results?
I have not communicated to him, and I'll not be able to know for now. But I think that he has said that he was ready to hand over to the next person who will be elected by the good people of Ghana, and wanted his vice president to be the person. At the moment, that is not what we are seeing. So definitely, as human as he is, he will feel a little disappointed, but I've not spoken to him.
Any lesson learned, or it's still early days yet?
Definitely, lessons have been learned, and will continue to learn until this process has ended. At the appropriate time, we will talk to you. Thank you very much.
Are you confident of coming back in the next 4 years?
The good people of Ghana will decide.
All right, Mr. Evans Nimako, thank you. And we've been speaking with the Director of Elections and Research of the New Patriotic Party, which its flag bearer this morning conceded to defeat. So if there's still time, I can still take you through the other results that have come in. Before the interview with Mr. Evans Nimako, I took you through the results from the Western North. Now let me take you to the results from the Central region. In the Central region, the NPP's flag bearer, that is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, had 382,000, I beg your pardon, 382,740. Then Daniel Latte also had 1,457. Followed by GUM. The GUM candidate had 2,305, and then Kofi Akpalu, of course, had 489. Mohammed also had, I beg your pardon, some of the writings are a bit faint, but Mohammed had 286, and then Nana Akosua Frimpoma also had 2,118. John Dramani Mahama of the NDC had 562,620. Hassan Ayariga also had 1,000.
Okay, so that was Evelyn Arba Edu there. She brought us certified provisional results from the Western North and the Central region, and she also engaged the Director of Elections and Research of the New Patriotic Party, who says, well, Ghanaians be the better judge if the formula of the New Patriotic Party failed. Interestingly, in 2016, the NPP polled marginal seats in Parliament. In 2020, they came up par with the NDC. Does it appear that in 2024, their formula failed deeper? Because if you came at par with the NDC in 2020, and then in 2024, you lost to the extent that very big wigs in Parliament fell to the trenches.
Did they have a formula in the first place?
That's a good question.
And if they had a formula, what formula was that? Because clearly, I mean, the people that, to the extent that lost
could their formula be 442?
Or maybe 133. Agenda 111. We don't know which.
Well, maybe it was 111, adding on 111.
Yeah.
Because they were at par, so maybe they wanted to add 111 to it. And
whatever it is, it didn't work.
It certainly didn't work. Even in their strongholds, you know, you find either that they maintained, and you see a pickup rather on the side of the NDC. So it certainly.
And we're going to see fresh faces in Parliament again, because I mean, Keon decided to do justice to the contender, and I mean, I look at the results that we've seen thus far, and you're asking yourself, okay, so clearly something went wrong. Is it the national politics that really led to the dissatisfaction for the NPP MPs? The fact that people are now looking at the national conversations, the economy, the CD, infrastructural development, among others. Is that what people used as benchmarks, or they rated the performance of their MPs based on the work they did? Because I really don't get it. I really don't see it.
And what would it do on the integrity of the current crop of national executives? You know, we are talking about that. We're learning that The General Secretary will be addressing the press at 6:30 p.m. So we'll go live to the NPP headquarters and bring you that. But what does this mean? The NPP changed hands in its national executive machinery, and then they're heading to opposition.
Yeah.
What does this mean? Does it mean that whatever reason for which they voted for new executives failed?
Right.
Is it that the current crop don't have a firm hold
Stephen
on
Team, Justin Kodia,
exactly
Nanabi.
on their support base? What was it? What was missing in this whole puzzle? Because I am wondering how the General Secretary and even our national chairman, who for a very long time was silent, we barely saw him. Like the previous national chairs that the NPP has had, going around. Maybe he was, you know, maybe he was, but it was not that visible in the media.
Yeah.
You know, what failed for these national executives?
You know who I would love to speak to now? Freddie Blay. I'd love to sit with Freddie Blay and assess the performance of the NPP. And I'm sure he would have so much to say.
That would be a very interesting conversation.
Yeah, because, I mean, looking at what happened, I'm not sure most of them expected this to happen. I mean, I remember an interview with the Interior Minister, Henry Quartey, during their primaries. He mentioned
Who unfortunately has also fallen.
one of the hopes he was going to win hands down. And even during the special voting, I remember one of our National Service personnel, Mary, interviewed him, and he was super confident. He was like, no. And the girl asked him, so are you confident? It's not about me being confident. It is done. Only for him to fall to the axe like this, in this manner. And it tells you so much. It tells you, because this man is one who's been Interior Minister, Greater Accra, Regional Minister, and all of that. And he, at a point, had the momentum of assemblymen in Greater Accra throwing their weight behind him. And that did not save him. It tells you clearly that there's some serious level of dissatisfaction. Does it arise from the government at the executive level or the personality of the MP involved?
Did the whole Make Accra Clean project, I mean,
Charlie.
you know, people were incensed. A lot of people were not too happy about it. Did it cost him?
But did he make Accra clean?
No, he didn't. You know, he made efforts, a lot of even some.
He moved people.
Yeah,
he located markets and
a lot of people even within his party were unhappy with him. And the question is, did this cost him his seat as Member of Parliament for that constituency?
I wonder if that alone could have cost him his.
Or it was the general voter apathy. Voters were tired. They needed a fresh face. They needed fresh ideas. Yeah. But that is the whole view that is going around the country. A lot of these MPs that fell, was it because the voters were generally tired of them, or generally tired of the NPP, and so they punished the members of parliament in that regard?
And the Apia Kubi, for instance, Asante Achimlov, he lost to an independent candidate.
Exactly. He didn't lose to the opposition party. He lost to an independent.
Forced to get Kenofurata out
removed,
because he believed that he was the reason why the government was not performing at its optimum. So if people were dissatisfied with the government, they should have been happy with him because he actually fought against his own party. But see the defeat he suffered. Too okay.
You know, for a latter-day saint who came in not too long ago into the political scene, people felt that he was doing a lot for the constituency. Now that is where the challenge lies, because a lot of electors do not know the mandate of a member of parliament. And so when somebody rears their head, comes into the constituency, is building schools, is constructing roads, is building toilet facilities, drilling boreholes, then the people feel that that is the true mandate of an MP. And so when the incumbent does not do these things, they feel like, well, you're failing us in that regard. That is why I believe Andy Appiah Kubi suffered this particular defeat.
Right.
Because OK was in the constituency doing a lot of things to them. We were there for Voters Connect. And you could sense the wind of change blowing in that constituency all through. Everybody, almost everybody that our cameras captured, spoke highly of OK. They called for him to become their member of parliament. Some people said, well, I will vote for the NDC in the presidential, but for the parliamentary, I will vote for OK. What does this signal? Does it mean that a lot of education will have to go down for electors to understand what really the mandate of a member of parliament is? Because it feels as though we do not understand. People go into constituencies to campaign and they tell them, I will build you this. I know you lack this. Is that what your mandate requires?
You were talking about Cozy earlier as well, and I mean, even on her social media, just following her, the number of initiatives that she's put forward within that constituency, and having done it out of pocket. So she would feel it's that helps her campaign-wise because she says she's doing it out of pocket, but at the same time, that's not within your mandate. So certainly, I mean, I think a whole lot of education has to go down, actually, in terms of the work of an MP. Else we're going to continue to expect more than they should be doing. Yeah. And it, in some way,
and that's how come we've monetized the elections.
It could increase corruption as well. Yeah, exactly, because we expect much more from them than they're actually supposed to be doing.
So this is still our continued coverage of the 2024 general elections. According to results coming in, the green wave is gradually sweeping across the country. So far, after 24 hours of polls closing, only 3 regions have faxed their results to the National Collation Center, National Strong Room. We have the Ahafo region, the Western North, and the Central region, because dear political parties, your supporters have massed up in their numbers at the various constituency collation centers, which is disrupting the flow of collation in that particular constituency. So we implore. I am wondering what is happening currently at Dom Kwabenya, whether or not they have been able to bring the situation under calm. A while ago, we took you there and you saw scenes there, disruptive scenes there, ballot papers flying around, heavy military presence, heavy police presence, and they were armed to the teeth. What does this mean? Has calm been restored? I wish we can get our reporter, Eko Boachi, to tell us what the current state is at Dom Kwabenya. Joshua?
Yeah.
I understand we have a certain video that we need to...
Yes, of course. I mean, President-elect who is waiting for the declaration for him to
President-elect is waiting.
Yes, he's waiting for Madam Jean Mensa to declare him winner so that he can address the nation. Maybe, so he would not do fellow Ghanaians. What would he do?
Minianum.
Okay. Well, so let's...
No, he usually says my brothers and sisters.
My brothers and sisters.
No, that sounds like him.
Okay. So let's take a look at his profile. We'll be back with more right here on GH1 Television. Stay with us.
He aims to revitalize the country with his 24-hour economy policy. Once upon a time, known as Commissioner General, this candidate is determined to get the economy back on track within 4 years. He hopes Ghanaians will give him the opportunity to lead the nation once again. Who is he?
John Dramani Mahama.
Mr. John Dramani Mahama.
John Mahama.
John Dramani Mahama.
John Dramani Mahama.
Ghana Yaya Mobo Jojo.
The former president and NDC presidential candidate was born on 29th November 1958 in Damongo, which was then the capital of the West Gonja district in the northern region. He is the son of Emmanuel Adama Mahama, the West Gonja constituency MP and the first regional commissioner of the northern region under Ghana's first president Kwame Nkrumah. He received his basic education at Achimota Basic School and later moved to the Ghana Secondary School in Tamale. In 1981, he received a Bachelor of Arts degree in history, but was forced to flee to Nigeria, where his father was living in exile. However, in 1983, he returned to Ghana and enrolled in a postgraduate program in communication studies at the University of employed 2001 until 2005, and then from 2005 until 2008. The year 2008 was a defining moment for Mr. Mahama as he partnered the late Professor John Evans Atta Mills to helm the affairs of government from 2009 to July 2012, where he assumed command of the nation following the death of the Asumdwe Hene.
I, John Dramani Mahama, do in the name of the Almighty God swear. Do in the name of the Almighty God swear. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana as by law established. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Republic of Ghana as by law established.
During the 2012 elections, Ghanaians gave him the nod to occupy the Flagstaff House. As such, on 7th January 2013, John Dramani Mahama was sworn into office as the President of the Republic of Ghana, making him the first Ghanaian head of state to have been born after Ghana's declaration of independence on 6th March 1957. According to Mr. Mahama's website, Ghana's ranking when it came to press freedom rose from 41st in 2012 to 26th in 2016 under his administration. In 2016, however, Mr. Mahama was unable to secure a second term as president, losing out to the NPP's candidate then, Nana Akufo-Addo.
On the basis of the foregoing figures, and by the power vested in me as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission and the returning officer for the presidential election, it is my duty and my privilege to declare Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as the president-elect of the Republic of Ghana.
I will leave it to history to be the judge of my time and contributions while in that highest office. Indeed, we are dealing with a situation already. Let me make a distinction between what Ghanaians call dumso, that is outages. We have two phenomena. We have load management, which used to be called load shedding, and we have outages. Load shedding is implemented when the amount of power is insufficient to meet the demand. Outages are the common occurrences that happen with overloaded transformers or blasted cables or something like that. So there are two differences. What we're going through currently is a load management or load shedding, if you prefer to call it that, created by an act of God. A ship's anchor broke the West African gas pipeline and knocked out 320 megawatts of our generation.
Despite being a distinguished statesman, Mr. Mahama's administration was marred by frequent power outages, which became a significant issue during his tenure. This challenge arguably overshadowed many of his contributions to the country.
I'll allow history to be the judge of how I've served my nation. How well I have done my part in running my lap of that relay. What that verdict will ultimately be, I cannot say. I can only say that I have done my best, giving my all, and done so with the best of intentions for my God and my country.
During the 2020 elections, Mr. Mahama contested with the hope of returning to power. He, however, lost to the incumbent president, Nana Akufo-Addo. The NDC later petitioned the Supreme Court over alleged irregularities. Then, on 24th April 2024, Mr. Mahama announced Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman as his running mate for the 2024 elections.
When people were dying and they needed just a little bit of help, you will not find in a stem an a Japan-like manifesto. And you will not find him as president clearing malfeasance and right writing love letters to prejudice a bad situation.
She had previously contested the same position in the 2020 elections. As a family man, John Mahama is married to Lordina Mahama, to whom he has been married to for 32 years. Together, they have 5 children. Outside of being a politician, the former president is also an author, having published his book, My First Coup d'etat and Other True Stories from the Lost Decades of Africa, in July 2012. He attributes the awakening of his consciousness and subsequent actions to that fateful day in 1966 when Ghana's founding president Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah was ousted in a military coup documented in the first chapter of his book. If given the nod, the NDC presidential candidate will be the first president in Ghana's history to return to serve another term in the Fourth Republic.
Is the Christmas cake
The victory